is Cheryl Echevarria of Echevarria Travel, your one-on-one travel agent, making your travel dreams come true. Home of the independent traveler. Whether you're sighted, blind, or disabled, whether you use a cane, guide dog, or sighted guide, Echevarria Travel will get you there safely. Come and learn more about traveling independently.
Come with me, let's go. Come with me, let's go. Come with me, let's go. Come with me, let's go.
And hello, everybody. It's May 7th, 2014, and it's the first of many shows on the WTOE radio network for the month of May. I'm Cheryl Echevarria, your host of the Echevarria Travel Show. You may hear me coughing a little bit because it's spring, and unfortunately, spring brings on my allergies. So we all just have to deal with it tonight. Anyway, I just want to say hello. How are you? Happy May. Happy Cinco de Mayo we just had, and some great stuff that has been going on since our last show. Just want to remind everybody that the Echevarria Travel Show is run on the WTOE radio network, which is run by the Northeast chapter of the NFB in New Jersey. We run on donations by you, our listeners. So if you like what you hear either by Echevarria Travel or Looking Good Without Looking or our one and only Joe Ruffalo, please send a tax-deductible check to the Northeast chapter of the NFB in New Jersey, which is 254 Spruce, S-P-R-U-C-E Street, Bloomfield, New Jersey 07003. And I'd just like to remind everybody, this is a live talk radio show. So remember, when I'm on or the other guests, please call in and talk to us. We're here for you. And that number is 1-888-572-0141. Now, after our 2-minute break, I'm going to come back. And tonight we're talking with Barbara Canizio from Globus. She's my business development manager for the Metropolitan New York and Long Island area. And Globus has been around for 85 years, and they do worldwide destinations, including the national parks of the United States. They also do Avalon Waterways, which are the river cruises of Europe, and we have some river cruising here in the United States, but that's for a different show. Barbara said she'll come back and talk about those in the future. And the number is 1-888-572-0141. If you're just listening in tonight, I'm Cheryl Echevarria. I'm the president of the NFB Travel and Tourism Division. I also own, with my co-vice president, Mr. Nelson Echevarria, who's listening in and sitting next to me. Unfortunately, you guys can't hear him, but he's always here in the background with me. And to reach us, we do worldwide travel from pole to pole and everywhere in between. And our local number is 631-456-5394. And our email is reservations@echevarriatravel.com. And we're on all the social medias, and we have an e-newsletter and a blog and all that good stuff. So before we go to break, I just want to let you know, during the time away, I became an expert in Globus. They have a training program just dedicated for us travel professionals. It takes a couple hours to do, but you know what? It gives me more information to give you, my clients, about some of the best traveling out there. It's coming almost 5 after, so we're going to take a 2-minute break, and when we come back, I'm going to talk about a little bit about some of the upcoming shows on the WTOE network, and then we're going to speak to Barbara Canizio of Globus. So stay tuned. We'll be right back in 2 minutes.
Don't go anywhere. There'll be more show right after these messages.
What is a hero? Are heroes born, or are they made? In after-school programs, your kids will uncover hidden strengths, discover they have the power to change their future, and find the hero inside themselves. Let us know you on after-school programs in your area. Call 1-800-USA-LEARN. After-school programs, helping kids find the hero within. You put your keys between your knuckles. You walk in well-lit areas. Someone approaches you and you grasp your cell phone tightly, ready at any second to dial the number for help. You lock the door behind you, once, twice, maybe 3 times. Now you feel safe, secure. You think you've made the right choices to protect yourself. Think again. Because if you're not making healthy choices, you could be one of the nearly 2 out of 3 women killed by cancer, diabetes, heart disease, or stroke. So eat right, get active, don't smoke, see your doctor, and live. Learn to protect yourself from yourself at 1-866-399-6789 or visit us at everydaychoices.org. A message from the American Cancer Society, American Diabetes Association, American Heart Association, and the Ad Council.
I can listen.
I can cook.
Good. I can coach.
Kids with something to do are less likely to do drugs.
I can drive.
I can paint.
I can dance.
A little of your time can make a lifetime of difference.
I can read.
I can help.
You can help. Call toll-free 1-877-KIDS-313 to find out about community drug prevention programs.
I can keep a kid off drugs.
Come with me, let's go.
Hello, everybody, and now we're back. Before I bring on my first guest, I just want to give a shout out to On the Bright Side, which airs next Wednesday, May 14th from 8 to 9 p.m. As the Echevarria Travel Show, they're one of the WTOE radio network family, and Jenny Deckenshine and Jerry Marino have indicated that they're going to interview Peg Watts, who happens to be a personal friend of mine. We went to guide dog school together, and she's going to be on about her overcoming blindness and her book she has authored. And also, in addition to that, special Mother's Day clips, and our Tech Talk Tony will continue with iOS Journey with adding contacts to your devices. So it's going to be a very interesting show. I always listen to all the other WTOE radio networks. And remember that call-in number is 1-888-572-0141. And I'm your host, Cheryl Echevarria of the Echevarria Travel Show. And now I'm going to bring on Barbara Canizio from Globus. Barbara, are you there?
I certainly am, Cheryl, and thank you so much for having me tonight. It's very exciting to be a part of this.
Well, thank you for coming on. Barbara and I have known each other for a number of years, and I like to bring on all the people that I actually personally know and work very closely, because they're the ones that know all the knowledge to help me, help you, my clients, get the best travel that money can buy. Barbara, when I start talking to my guests on the show, I always ask them to give us a little bio on them. Tell us a little bit about Barbara Canizio and why you work for Globus, and what exactly do you do there?
Well, I have actually been in this industry in one shape or another for the past 30 years, so I have an extensive background. I did work at one time with a European-based operator, and I've done extensive travel of my own over the years, and I have an extreme interest in culture and fascinated by destinations, and all of those passions accumulated in me getting this job with Globus. I chose to come to them. I've been with them now. I'm in my 9th year, so this is actually the place I will remain for the duration of my career. And the biggest issue for me coming on board with them, honestly, Cheryl, is because of the integrity of the company. when you have worked with other companies, as I'm sure everybody on this call has experienced, there are some people that you say, thank you very much, but this didn't work for me. I really feel very strongly that integrity should drive your product, and your passion should be speaking when you're doing your job. And this job with Globus, the Globus family of brands, it actually fulfills all those elements for me. So that's why I'm here. You know, discovering the world is a wonderful place, and the more you learn, the smaller you think the world becomes, but in actuality, it grows because your interest, you think it's one way, as you start doing travels, you find out that there are destinations in this world you never would have thought you wanted to go to, and all of a sudden you do. So that's a little bit of the background of where I come from.
Well, thank you very much for that, Barbara. A lot of our clients or listeners like to find out who Cheryl is talking to and why you're on the show. And, you know, Barbara's one of those people we have, no matter where you work, that person that likes, they're like a breath of sunshine. And, you know, I work with a number of different suppliers all the time. There's thousands of them I work with, but a number of them stick out, and Barbara's so passionate about what she does that it makes me want to sell and introduce you, meaning the clients and listeners, to this product. So, as I know myself, Globus has been around for over 85 plus years, and it's changed over the years. And people, Barbara, think of escorted tours as, you know, you sit around in the bus all day and you go ooh and ah, and you're on the bus for hours. Can you just not particular destination, but can you give us a day in the life of somebody that may go on a tour? Like, you just came back from Germany. What would be something that a client would do once they're there? What can they expect to do whilst they're in Germany?
Well, these are all very good points, Cheryl. And the one thing I do want to address before I go into a day in the life of is that escorted tours way back when definitely had a stimulus attached to it, and many people up until very recent times associated it with a demographic that was senior-based, and you were absolutely on the money when you said that people have a conception that they're on a bus touring around. And to be quite honest, nothing could be further from the truth. These packages that we do in escorted tours, the purpose of doing this is truly culturally driven. So we try to put in and manage as many inclusions, such as museums or, wherever you are, whether it be the Colosseum or the Eiffel Tower or in Peru, Machu Picchu. We really want to get you in up close and personal with the destination that you've chosen to travel. We are very, very serious about getting as much put into a package as we possibly can. So unlike what the average person thinks, this is not a package or a product where you're standing still and you're just, basically wasting time. You are truly on the go from the moment you wake up until we get you back to your hotel room. That's not to be confused that you don't have time to relax and enjoy the environment, because we implement that as well. But our main focus is to get you into the must-see sites and to include a little bit of everything on your tour. So as opposed to what it used to be years ago, the average demographic on these escorted tours now is early 50s, believe it or not, where it used to be 65 and over. The demographics have come down a tremendous amount. And I can tell you firsthand, I've been on tours where I've had 20-year-olds, and I've had 30 and 40 and 50 and 60. Everybody is like-minded, which is truly one of the things that propel this type of travel, is that everybody you're traveling with is of the like mind. They're there for a reason. They're there because they want to learn. They want to be involved and immersed in the culture around them. They want to get to see all of the highlights and then some of the back roads of the destination that they're going on. And we do fulfill all of that in a 4 to 5 star hotel destination. That's the way we do our hotels. So a day in a life. So what would happen, say if you're in Italy and you're in Rome and you land and you get the first evening when all of the clients get in to town, our tour director, who will be on your tour from the beginning to the end, he's kind of the maestro of the trip. He will have a welcome drinking, you share a drink and get to know your fellow travelers. So it's kind of a welcome area where he'll go over what the tour is about and, all the things that you need to know, such as bags need to be outside your hotel so we could collect them at 8:30 in the morning. Breakfast is served from 8:30 to 9:30, or the breakfast opens up at 7, whatever the case may be. And we'll all be meeting out in the lobby, and we will be leaving the hotel at 9 o'clock. They'll board the bus, and from there we will go on a day's tour, stopping at multiple destinations. I think the greatest thing is that as you do get to each destination, such as the Colosseum, we actually have what's called VIP access, and it's something that we negotiated from the beginning. We actually put a tag of there are happy lines, because Globus family of brands, our clients, your clients, Cheryl, never, ever, ever wait online. So there might be at any given time, especially in Rome, where the cruises are disembarking and the town is being invaded by 2, 3, 4, 5,000 people at one time. And here we have our little group of 35 or 40, and we go up to the entry. We give them their tickets, and we bypass all of those people. The beautiful thing also about doing an escorted tour is that you not only get a tour director, again, the orchestrator, the go-to person who stays and makes sure all of your needs are met, and that you're up to date on all the information that you need on a daily basis, but we have local guides that actually take you out into the town and show you the destination or inside the museum. And it's something we're very proud of, because we're not one of the only, we are the only tour operator who has a tenure of 16 years with our tour guides and our tour directors, which is an amazing fact. They're very highly educated. They are not summer stock, so they truly are experts in their fields, and they really do bring the stories alive. And this is what you're there for. This is the experience that you have you've yearned for, and now you are experiencing it. We also have headsets. So let's say you are in the museum and you have maybe 10 people in your group, and your local guide will have a transmitter, and you have on your head the whispers. So you literally do not have to be on top of your local guide to hear the stories, to hear everything that is being explained to you at the site that you are at. And in actuality, you can be pretty far away and still hear everything that's going on. So that pretty much, during the day, we'll bring you into a couple of included tours, and then we give you the option to have about an hour to 2 hours, either to lunch or to just roam around, sit in the square, have a cappuccino, have a glass of wine, a piece of cheese, do some people looking, or go around and do some local shopping, Go visit the markets. Do whatever it is that your heart desires. We'll tell you what time we'll meet, and we'll give you a meeting place. You all meet up at that certain time. You get back on the bus, and you continue your day onto the next highlight. At the end of the day, we bring you back to the hotel, and there you go in, you get changed, washed up, and then we all meet for dinner. We have a beautiful dinner. Some of them are off-premise. Some of them are on-premise. We try to really indulge you in the local culinary effects of the area that you are visiting. And that would be a typical day in the life of a Globus traveler. I also want to bring to your awareness, I know you know this, Cheryl, because you just finished the GTE course, so you're just as brushed up as I am. We have extremely comfortable seating in our coaches, and we have a great pitch in our coach. We've actually removed a couple of the rows of the seating so that the coach seats have a deeper recline and that they're more comfortable. They all recline. They all have footrest. They all have coffee cup holders. But the nice thing that we have also in Europe, where applicable, because there are some destinations that just don't get it, you do get the internet free of charge. So we do have Wi-Fi available, and it's free on all of our buses in North America and in Europe, again, where applicable, because if you're in the Highlands of Scotland, obviously there's no towers, so you can't get reception. So that's something that's new that we added about 2 years ago. So what else can I answer for you? I mean, I know there's a ton of questions that people must have.
Well, I wanted to bring up, especially some of my clients who I have booked, like on a cruise, or they want to go to London or Paris, and they didn't do a package with Globus. And we mentioned groups of 20, 30 people. I want to mention, and you can, mention this along with me. I necessarily don't have to have a group. Globus has guaranteed dates where, let's say, you want to go to Rome and I don't have a group. Globus has dates available where I could put you into an existing group. Can you explain what a guaranteed group is or a guaranteed tour is, Barbara?
Absolutely. So in the touring business, how do I explain this? So there's inventory that is involved in all touring and in all travel. And inventory is really based on your production and what your hoteliers and all of the components of traveling. Your reputation will eventually create how many guaranteed departures you can put on the books. So being that we're 86 years old now, we've been doing this for a very long time. We have tremendous amount of buying power. We have a track record that has given us the opportunity to work very closely with all of the vendors that are involved in putting a tour together. So out of the 700 and some odd tours that we offer throughout the world, just on the Globus portion alone, we start out in the beginning of the season with a couple of hundred guaranteed dates. And what a guaranteed date is that it doesn't matter whether there's 3 people on that departure or a full coach of 40 people, that tour will go. It will not get canceled. And as the time goes on in the fiscal year, we add day after day after day guaranteed departures. So in the world of escorted tours, we have the most, in number-wise, collected guaranteed tours out of anybody who does this type of travel. That being said, you're absolutely correct in regards to group travel. Now, there are some agencies, and you might be one of them coming down the road, where you'll come to me and you'll say, Barbara, you know what, I really have a nice base of people. I know they all want to travel together. We'll pull a coach, and you could put all of your people on that one departure date. That being said, that's far and few between. So normally how groups are put together, it's not necessarily a preformed group as you indicated. It's multiple agencies from around the United States that are selling into departure dates. So it might be 2 people from your office that are going on the Best of Italy on September 9th. Then there might be 5 people from an agency in California, another 6 passengers from someone who sold it in Boston. And the beautiful thing about this is that when you do get on these coaches, you are meeting people from the United States from coast to coast. A lot of friendships have been born on these coaches, believe it or not. And in actuality, there's even been marriages that have come out. I was in a show about about 2 months ago, and I had my Globus wear on, so I had a T-shirt that said Globus. And a woman stopped me and said, "What do you do for Globus?" And I explained to her what was going on. She was sitting with her husband, and long story short, they met on a Globus tour some 15, 16 years ago. So it's really a unique way to meet people. Like I said, you're all on that with a common denominator, and that is that you were interested in that destination. It opens up the gateways of communication. You laugh with each other. You're exploring with each other. You're breaking bread with each other. You're talking at night over a glass of wine about your experiences during the day. It's just a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful way to travel. And trust me when I tell you, it is not boring. It is not boring. We keep you rocking. We keep you going.
Exactly. And before we go on, because we're coming down to the half hour, I'm just going to make another announcement. We'll go to break, and then we'll come back and finish talking to Barbara. Just want to remind you, we're on the WTOE Radio Network. We're a live call-in talk show, and I'm speaking to Barbara Canizio tonight from Globus. Our call-in number is 1-888-572-0141, and I'm going to send out another plug, and this one is for the one and only Joe Ruffalo. We're Through Our Eyes with Joe Ruffalo, and he will be on May 21st, again Wednesday from 8 to 9 p.m., and his show will highlight the Braille enrichment for literacy and learning, which is short for BELL, and this is growing within the NFB about us teaching our children Braille, ages 4 to 12, so that they're learning 2 weeks out of the year Braille and coming together from other students within their own state. New York is trying to do theirs up in Syracuse this year. So come in and listen to Joe Ruffalo on the 21st from 8 to 9 p.m. We're going to take a 4-minute break, and when we come back, we'll be talking more about Globus. Stay tuned.
Let's go.
Hi, I'm Keith Zell, your announcer here at WTOE Radio Network. We're going to take a little bit long with this break to save our files for podcasts. So don't go anywhere, because there'll be more of the Echevarria Travel Show in just a bit.
Come with me, let's go.
Thank goodness here. That huge asteroid is headed right towards Earth.
I'll handle this. Like an arrow shot from a man-sized bow, the Red Defender hurtles into space using his super strength to stop the asteroid.
He's stopping the asteroid. It's moving away from Earth. You saved us. How did you do it?
I just stopped the asteroid and reversed its course back into space.
Look, the moon. It's exploded.
Where exactly did you throw that asteroid?
Away. I threw it away.
No more moon. That means No more tides. Tides are created by the moon.
And no more walks in the moonlight. I love walks in the moonlight.
Saving the world isn't easy. Saving a life is. Just 1 pint of blood can save up to 3 lives. To find out more, go to bloodsaves.com. A public service message brought to you by the Ad Council.
If you think depression is all in a person's head, you're right. It's a brain illness. And like other illnesses, it has symptoms. A person suffering from depression might feel sad, empty, or numb. They might sleep more or less, eat a lot or not at all, or show little interest in participating in ordinary activities. Mood swings, including anger and sadness, are common. They're often tired and have a hard time concentrating or making decisions. Depression can make those who suffer from it feel hopeless. It can even lead to suicide. If you see the symptoms of depression, get that person to a doctor. With medical help, depression can be treated and suicide can be prevented. Learn how to stop depression from taking another life. Call SAVE, Suicide Awareness Voices of Education, 1-888-511-SAVE, on the web at save.org.
Well, howdy! Thanks for coming to Big Bubba's. We got a mess of used cars. What can we do for you?
We're looking for,
Something cute.
Well, here's a beauty, a 99 model with a moon roof. As a bonus, we'll throw in a leaking gas tank. You could be driving and kaboom! Adds that zing of excitement.
You got any other cars?
Wouldn't it be great if you could be warned of life's risks? If you have diabetes, you can. There's a simple blood test called A1C that can help measure your risk of complications such as heart attack. Why is it important? Because 2 out of 3 people with diabetes die from a heart attack or stroke. If your A1C is above 7, your doctor can show you how to lower it. If you have diabetes, know your risk for heart attack. Know your A1C. Ask your doctor, or for more information, go to www.diabetesa1c.org or call 1-877-TEST-A1C. Brought to you by the American Diabetes Association, Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation International, and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Judy. And my name is Johnny. We're 10 years old and we're blind. Our dreams are to become scientists.
My name is Catherine. I'm 24 years old and I'm blind. I'm currently in law school, and one day I dream of becoming an attorney.
My name is Bill. I'm 74 years old, and I've just become blind. My dream is to remain independent in my own home and not have to go to a nursing home just because I'm blind.
The National Federation of the Blind of New York has been helping blind people achieve their dreams since 1956. Help keep their dream machine running and visit blindnewyorkers.org to make a donation. You can also call them at 718-567-7821. Blind people are your neighbors and colleagues, so learn more about blindness and make your contribution today. Go to blindnewyorkers.org or call 718-567-7821. The National Federation of the Blind of New York. Today's dreams can become tomorrow's realities.
Come with me, let's go.
And we are back. If you are coming in late or just now listening to the WTOE radio network, the Echevarria Travel Show, welcome back, or for shame on you for coming in late. Just joking around. Before I go on with my guest, I want to give the last shout out. On May 28th, Looking Good Without Looking with Linda Zaney Thomas and Joanna Bacon. We'll be talking about bathing suit weather, sunscreen, Father's Day, graduation, luggage and packing, all that good stuff, summer cooking, and Joey's debut show in New York City, and an update at Philomena the Duck. Before we go further, Letty, what is Philomena the Duck? Are you there? Philomena the Duck, what is that all about?
Who's Philomena the Duck?
Well, that's what Linda has down on her updates for the show for the 28th. She said Philomena the Duck.
You got me beat.
Okay, well, anyway, we got that out of the way. And Linda, if you want to email me and explain what that is, that would be great. Anyway, tonight we have Barbara Canizio from Globus, Family of Brands, Worldwide Travel. Globus does almost every single place in the world for travel except for the Caribbean and Antarctica. So I'm not looking to go to Antarctica myself. I could go to the zoo and see the penguins. So if you're out there and want to see the penguins, there might be other places to go and visit. But Barbara, we're back. I wanted to ask you, and I always love to hear about your stories about Peru, and especially the sunrise prayers and going to Machu Picchu. And this is one of those trips that, you know, I envision myself getting up early in the morning and climbing to the top there. But especially the life experiences on that trip. What are some of the things that Globus has that the other tour companies don't have? I mean, these are really wonderful things.
Thank you. Actually, that was an amazing experience. Let me just step back a little bit and tell you a little bit more of the statistics before I go into that. Out of all of the escorted tours that are out there, and this has been proven with the awards that we have been winning for years, we have the most included amount of visits within each tour out of any given tour operator. So we really are very proud of that because it's more about what you're getting for your money. You're getting a great bang for your buck with our company. Unlike other types of travel, once you pay for this trip, there's really no need to go back into your pocket for excursions or optionals if you don't choose to do so, because you will have included plenty of things that are already part of your package. So that's a very important element. On top of doing that, we have included something new that we started 2 years ago. So on top of all of the included tours that you go on a daily basis, we started a program which is called our Local Favorites. And what a local favorite is, it's in addition to the already included tours, and you usually get 3 to 4 of them, maybe sometimes 5, depending on the duration of the tour that you're on. But what it is that we've really created some special experiences that bring you behind the scenes and give you a up-close and personal, unique experience. So going back to Peru, one of those local favorites that we had is that we actually had a Mother Earth ceremony, and we had a Sharma that did this for us, and it was an incredible, moving experience. So a Mother Earth ceremony is really, it's extending your thanks to Mother Earth, and the ritual is absolutely spectacular. It was heartwarming, it was moving. So these are the types of things that local favorites do. In Argentina, we're going to teach you how to do the tango, and then we will give you a couple of glasses of wine, and we'll actually take you to a tango show, and you'll actually get out on the dance floor and dance the tango. We might bring you to somewhere maybe in Capri in Italy and do a funicular ride that does some guided sightseeing into unique areas that nobody else goes to. So there's some really, really cool additional inclusions. Now, going back to Peru, this is one of those destinations that just, it's outside of the box. It's really a bucket list item. That, Africa, Egypt, all of these things, they're really outside of the norm. And what we do differently is so many things, but in Peru, Machu Picchu obviously is the highlight. Although Sacred Valley and all of those places all are unique to the area, the big draw in Peru is Machu Picchu. And we actually always stay in centrally located hotels. That's across the board on all of our products. So you are literally in town and you're accessible to everything. But this particular destination I was always wondering why we didn't stay in the hotel on top of the mountain in Machu Picchu until I actually got there. And there's a very good reason, because that mountain is so treacherous in its winding roads going up the side of the mountain to where you actually get to the entry to the park. And that's where the hotel of Machu Picchu sits. But when that park closes at 6 o'clock, nobody comes in and nobody goes off that mountain. So we found a beautiful family-owned hotel that sits at the bottom of the mountain. And unlike any other tour operator who does Machu Picchu, we do 2 nights there. Because remember now, you're also going to Cusco, you're going to other areas in Peru. It's not just Machu Picchu. So we do a 2-night stint in Machu Picchu, and one of the things that we offer our clients, which was just spectacular, was to get up early on the second morning, and to take a bus up to the top of Machu Picchu and actually see the sunrise. So when I was there, like all of us, you're tired, you don't want to get up, and I hemmed and I hawed, and I said, you know what, I'm never going to be here again. I would have to be out of my mind not to do this. So at 4:30, I ripped myself out of bed. I went down, and they had boxed breakfasts for us, and we got up, and we went out on the bus, and we took that winding Swix back and forth up the mountain, got off the bus, and we climbed, and we climbed, and we climbed, and we got to the top. If there were another 30 clients or people there on the mountain, it was actually a lot. I think in totality there might have been 50 or 60 of us, and we sat up there and we watched the sunrise, and it was moving in ways that it's very hard to articulate. It was a spiritual, warming, quiet, reflective, absolutely magnificent experience. So we stayed up there for a couple of hours. The park's not open yet, so nobody's up there. It's just the people who are at the hotel, which isn't all that many if they chose to get up, and us, and it was spectacular. So those are some of the types of experiences that we do. Like in Africa, we do safaris, both on many of our products, but Globus actually does, they'll do safaris, they'll do rides in the morning, and they'll do them in the afternoon. So we really do add a lot of additional components to our travel.
Great. Thank you, Barbara. And as Lenny was mentioning, and I was going to get to this, and I heard you in my ear, Lenny, before I became a travel agent, in fact, and Barbara knows I'm blind, and she knows Max, and so she knows the type of clients that I work with. And the reason why I like Globus is because of all the hands-on life experiences, the life favorites, that they're rushed, but they're not rushed. You have time on your own, the time to relax, and also enjoy the experiences that you're there. Granted that I know plenty of blind people that are great travelers, and they don't care. They'll go anywhere and enjoy, even though we can't see, that they enjoy the experiences like I did last year when I took a group to Utah. I did not use Globus. I used another company. But, again, I was mentioning in the beginning of the show that Globus also does the national parks here in the United States. So, Barbara, we have a little bit of time on this. Would you go into the part about how Globus works with the national parks here in our country?
Yes, and this is a special accolade to our company. Every so often, the National Parks Association, they always have a partner in travel. For the last 3 years, we have been selected out of all of the tour operators, out of all of the companies that go inside of the parks on a daily basis. We were asked to join them in partnership. So we are an official partner of the Go Park Tours and the National Parks Association, and it is a true accolade. And for me, it's twofold. Obviously, it's always nice to wear that badge of honor, but it goes a little bit deeper than that. For our clients, your clients, Cheryl, the big advantage of coming to the parks with us, with Globus, is that because we're in partnership with them, our clients actually stay inside the parks. And now, please be aware that inside the parks is within the season. So if it's off-season, the hotels in the parks are not open. The lodges aren't open. But if they're open, our clients are staying there. And there's a tremendous advantage to that for anybody who's ever been to the national parks. If you're driving in and out and in and out, you're taking away so much time that you should have exploring these incredible parks that we have in our backyard. On top of that, when the parks close, you're still inside of it. So I've seen many, many sunsets and sunrises in our national parks. And when I tell you the beauty in our backyard is unsurpassed, it truly is unsurpassed. Our parks are magnificent. On the flip side of that, we actually support the national parks in a monetary fashion. So we actually have a contract with them. So for every client that Globus or Cosmos, which is our other tour operator division, for every client that is sent into the parks by our clients, which is Cheryl, the travel agent world, the travel agency world, we donate a fixed amount to the foundation for the upkeep of the park. So for me, I think that's what touches my heart, because it's giving back to our parks, and I think that's magnificent. Now, this goes beyond just the national parks. Anything that's under the UNESCO or the Park Association is part of the program. So we actually have some destinations in Africa that are part of the African Parks Association, so that is part of the program. DC is part of the program. So it extends further than just the American national parks. That being said, we do the most of all, obviously, because we've been given this beautiful accolade. We do so much into our backyard. We're doing all of Northern California finest. We do American Great Parks. We do the national parks. We do the Western Explorer, the Parks and Canyons, the Canyon Country, Enchanting Canyonland, the classic lodges and parks of the West. We do Alaska, and we do Alaska not only on land, but we combine it with the cruise. So you can actually cruise and do land with a Globus product. We do the routes of the Old West, the American Historical East. We do classic fall foliage on the Northeast Corridor. And we do family vacations in this product, as well as Italy, for children. It's multi-generational. So these are departures that we put together solely for family travel. So it's, like I said, it's for children 5 years and older. And it's and we do the Canyon Country Family Adventure. We do one in the Wild Wild West and the Patriots Passage. And these things, we actually create even more hands-on experience for the children. And the beauty of this is that parents get a vacation, the grandparents get a vacation. More importantly, the children are traveling with other children. You cannot get on these departures if you don't have a child traveling. So in the nutshell, that covers what the National Parks Association and the Foundation and Globus's relationship is. And you'll see that very clearly marked on any of our products, because it will have the Go Park Tours emblem stamped on it. Does that answer your question?
Oh, it certainly does. Yes, especially since, I like working with companies that actually give back. And, for those of you that are listening out there, and Barbara will be back to talk about doing groups, about Avalon Waterways, about monograms, which are independent tours. There's so much to do with Globus that we just can't do it all in 1 hour. And she's agreed to come back in the future. But, those things are important to me. And as a travel agent, I have so many options out there. And I'd rather sell you, a client, that I know that you're giving back to your own country. And I want to remind people that are listening, especially my clients, and I told you to call in tonight, so I'm not going to yell at you, is that I almost lost my train of thought there. Globus only deals with a North American client. You're not on the bus with people who are speaking Chinese or Spanish or something like that. Also for clients, if you're in a destination where you're not so happy about the local food, you do have the American style as well. You have both options there. Another thing about Globus which I like is, especially me, when I want to do a dedicated tour for you, my clients who are blind and you're uncomfortable traveling with other people and you just want to experience things together, that is when I come in and we do a group together. And Globus has such a great groups department. I deal with my inside salesperson, Beth, who works with Barbara. I work with the groups department. So there's so many people there that will take what I need and put it all together for me. So when we get there, we don't have to worry about anything. From the moment we get off the plane to the moment we get back on the plane. So, these are important to me, and they should be important to you when you're traveling. What I was going to say, Barbara, is I do have a client that is actually looking at the Alaska trip, and like Barbara was saying, we've been saying all night that Globus is not like you're sitting on the bus all day. They want to go to Alaska. They want to go to stay in Denali National Park. They're going to see the glaciers. They're also going to go on a Holland America cruise. That is part of, the Globus family, that they take the cruise lines as well as the destination you're seeing and combining everything into one package. You're not going to be nickeled and dimed like some of, I love cruising myself. I'm the first one to say I will get on the next cruise out of New York and go somewhere to the Caribbean or something like that. But, Globus doesn't do the Caribbean. That's because it's saturated. If I want to go to the Caribbean, I'm going to go to the Caribbean. But if I want to go to Italy or I want to go to Germany or something like that, I'm going to use Globus, and not because I am a travel agent, because I know what I can get for the money that I'm spending on. And people think, oh, my God, this must be so expensive. And I'm like, no, it's the value of what you're spending on. And you've listened to all that Barbara has to say, and I know all this information as well, because I always have Barbara in my ear yapping at me. But that's a good thing. You're getting both experiences. And we're coming to the top of the hour. I want to say thank you, Barbara, for coming on tonight. And I want to remind everybody that the National Convention is coming up July 1st through the 6th of 2014. So if you haven't yet made your reservations, please do so. The rooms are running out. Dr. Mauer's been saying if you're coming, you're coming. Also, you have until the end of this month to book your banquet tickets, to register for the convention, which is a lot cheaper than when you get there. You already have your tickets. You're not online with, 2,000 other blind people trying to get your tickets to registration and banquet and all that. And also I want to remind people that on July 3rd from 1 to 4:30 p.m., we're having the NFB Travel and Tourism Division. And this year, like I've mentioned, Kathy Vasquez from Norwegian Cruise Line from the Access Board will be coming to see us. I'm speaking to one other guest. He's not sure if he can come or not, so that I'm not going to lay out there. We also have Mark Riccobono. All of you know he's the executive of the Jernigan Institute. So he's only going to be there as the executive of the Jernigan Institute until National Convention, where he's running for national president. So if you want your voice to be heard, make sure you're at general session and during the nominations committee. Also, NAGDU. If you're a guide dog user, even if you're not a guide dog user, they will be having people there. Hopefully, I haven't heard yes or no if this is definitely going to happen. Read your Braille monitor for updates, but he's trying to get some of the people from this that are stewards and stewardesses from the airlines to come and speak at the NAGDU meeting. We also, with the Travel and Tourism Division, we're going to have Patrick Keyes, who is with the Statler Center up in Buffalo, and they actually have a course there for hospitality and for travel. So if anybody's looking to become a travel agent like myself, I didn't go to the Statler Center. I, worked on my own and learned all about the products out there for being a travel agent. So if you want to come and learn more about their products and services, please do so. And Lenny, how much time do we have left? Oh, yes, thank you. Next month in June, Lenny's on vacation. We all know he's an expected grandpa, so none of the shows will air in June. You will not hear the Echevarria Travel Show in June. I will be at National Convention, and the second is when normally I have my show. Will be I probably will ask Lenny to do a canned show, which means you'll hear me, but it's a recorded show, or we'll be showing one of my older shows. So listen in, or just keep listening to Echevarria Travel on Facebook or LinkedIn. I'll keep you posted, and thank you again, Lenny. Thank you again, Barbara. Everybody have a great night, and listen to Stepping Forward right on after me from 9 to 10 p.m. with Tamara White. Have a great night, everybody, and I'll talk to you in August. Bye-bye.
The Echevarria Travel Show is brought to you by Echevarria Travel, home of the independent traveler since 2009, specializing in worldwide destinations for the blind community. For more information on Echevarria Travel, call Cheryl at 631-456-5394 or email her at reservations@echevarriatravel.com. All words, ideas, and contents expressed on this show are those of Cheryl Echevarria and not necessarily those of the National Federation of the Blind, the Northeast New Jersey chapter, or the WTOE Internet Radio Network. Until next time, I'm Keith Zalley.